Oi, oi, alright, how's it going? I'm Grant, you're you, and this is Doodle Review, the channel that hops from genre to genre on the daily. Every day we take on a new album in a different genre. We're here to give you our thoughts on music you love and hopefully turn you on to something you don't yet know that you love. And if that sounds up your street, do yourself a favour and subscribe. Then sit back and listen to me chat some fraff about Joshua Leary, aka Evian Christ. Now, Evian Christ is a somewhat elusive British electronic music producer, having been around since around 2011, but only just now in 2023, last year, releasing his debut album. While his own discography might be slight, Leary has been a fairly prolific collaborator, working behind the scenes with artists like Kanye, Travis Scott and Danny Brown to deliver some of their darkest and occasionally most abrasive production. His work with Ye in particular caught my attention and prompted me to check out this record. Yeezus is a massive record for me, and the Leary produced I'm In It has always stood out for its stark, dark and exhilarating instrumental. I've made it a point to dive into the solo work of a lot of the various producers on Yeezus, like Arca, Hudson Mohawk or Mike Dean. So while it might be a full 10 years later, hearing that Evian Christ was releasing something, I had to check it out. Dropping the needle on this thing, aka tapping that 6-inch pane of glass that we carry with us at all times, the heavy distorted bass drum hits of On Embers pound their way into your ears and feel immediately familiar. While the distortion is amped up exponentially compared with a track like I'm In It, there's a shared DNA in the tonality and presence. Halfway through, these beats drop out for a brief moment to reveal swelling chords which are almost euphoric but feel slightly muted. It feels like if you've ever been on a flight with bad turbulence, it's like the calm you feel where there's that kind of brief moment of respite before plunging back into the storm cloud. This is followed up by Ixguden, which features Swedish artist Blade and delivers a massive club sound. Part of me was tempted to make comparisons to hyperpop with this particular track, with the sickly sweet vocals and angular synth melodies, until it clicked that a more apt description would probably just be a style of euphoric house that was present in the late 90s and early 2000s. When doing a bit more background on both artists, with Blade citing Bass Hunter as an influence and Leary growing up close to his trance DJ father, it all kind of makes sense. That style of electronic music isn't normally my go-to, but when you listen through this record a few times, you start to appreciate this passing moment of euphoria, with the following tracks like The Beach and later Silence being much darker and more atmospheric. The Beach opens and is incredibly spacious after the previous club-ready vibes. As it progresses, it introduces vocals that strike a similar sort of tone to the otherworldly singing you might associate with the desert. I think the easiest comparison I would make would be the Dune soundtrack. Silence is similarly evocative, with samples of galloping horses so satisfying on the ears it might just unlock a new level of ASMR for those that are that way inclined. These two more ambient leaning pieces, The Beach and Silence, are joined by a third on the closing track Run Boys Run. This time, instead of utilising vocals or field recordings, Leary layers synths upon synths to give you this sense of floating in an endless sea. And it's interesting that these ambient pieces also share the same record with the previously mentioned euphoria of Ixguden, or the heavy breakbeats of Urados, or the pulse-raising trance of Nobody Else. In all of these instances, Leary subverts the expectation of these more pulse-racing styles with unique arrangements and instrumental deviations, but you do occasionally get the sense that the very medium of a record itself is the constraining factor here. On the heavier tracks, I feel like I'm only getting half the experience by not being in a confined club with the most massive sound system you can think of, and on the more ambient side, the creative whiplash you get from coming down from the adrenaline highs of the former can be a bit jarring. Getting an Evian Christ record has been a long time coming, but I think the wait has paid off. You can really hear a lot of care and attention has gone into every arrangement, and Leary has been able to pay great tribute to styles of electronic music for which he clearly has a lot of passion for. While the blend of soothing tracks versus tracks that bang might make it hard to know what mood you exactly would need to be in to put this on, it's a really compelling album, and I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10. Cheers for sticking around and listening to me chat faff about the record. Tell me what you think about it, and I assume if you've made it this far, you love my reviews. So don't be coy, don't be cute, stop messing about and hit the subscribe button. We've got a bunch of album reviews coming your way, Saturday specials and Sunday Jazz Club every week. So subscribe, show some love, share some thoughts, or just hurl some abuse in the comments, and check out the links to other reviews you might be into in the description below. And I'll see you in the next video. Cheers, mate. Bye.